We are live. Let's see if we've got the stream link stuff. Yep. Putting that in there, and then we'll put it on Gran Turismo chat as well. Not 100%, but I'm going to have to do at least one of these. Not entirely sure whether or not these guys will be like the future comms will be through the week anymore. It might be a Saturday and a Sunday. I might do one apiece on each day purely because I have my new uni timetable. I do, Deco. I'm on the other side of it now, though. I'm getting better. It's bad on Thursday and Friday. Really bad on Thursday and Friday. But yeah, just getting onto the other side of it now. I think, I hope so. Anyway, the lack of sleep watching F1 is probably not helping. Yeah, it is. That is exactly why, Deco. Yeah, I didn't want to be able to. I didn't want to get through like 40 or 50 minutes of the race for 2-hour endurance and then be like, I cannot finish this because of whatever reason, my head being a little bit heavy or whatever. So I didn't even attempt it. Didn't really think I was well enough to go for the whole 2 hours. But yeah, I am going to try and catch up with this now as well. Going to do one here at the minute, then I'm probably going to go watch Liverpool versus Newcastle. Or like probably like miss the first 20 minutes of it. And then after that, there might be enough time before esports for me to slip in Watkins Glen, but I'm not entirely sure. Man United also starts at 7, so be pushing it. But yeah. Apologies for being behind already. Didn't want it to go this way, but I've had a decent, well, this illness, and then last week was an absolute mess in terms of trying to figure out a time to do things. Just absolute. Tier 3 blue is BX, I think. I believe it's BX and then Ross is tier 3 white. Yeah. Alright, we've been going about 5 minutes here. Let's run through this grid, then get started on the sprint. And I will keep up, we'll try and keep an eye on my own voice and everything, see if we can, how well we're going to be able to do this. Alright, so Otto is on pole here in the Audi. It's a good start for him. Elliot in second in the Ford GT. That's what I'd expect to win these races. The Ford GT should be rather impervious here, to be honest. Polito third in the BMW. Denz fourth, which is significantly better than what he did on the first week at Austria. Anonymous fifth in the Genesis. I think Taz is sixth there, yeah. You can tell by the change in the numbers. So they're both the Gen X's in fifth and sixth on that third row. Astra and the Ferrari, he's going to suffer badly today. In seventh, then he's got Scotty in the, I think that's a Lexus. In eighth, Sailboat in the McLaren. In ninth, pretty strong in tier 3. Don't know if they'll be strong in tier 2. Prime Colt in the second of the BMWs in 10th. Higgsy in the second of the Lexus in 11th. Ethan in 12th in the second Mazda. Assador in the second Audi in 13th. He must have had a nightmare of a qualifying. Gilles in the Alfa Romeo in 14th, CMP in 15th, and Tapp in 16th, as the Alfa Romeos apparently did not do too well in qualifying here. But that being said, let's go. 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. There's lights out. Away we go in Tokyo. It's the first time we've raced here on the Mondays in ALR, and it's season 17. Let's see if they're going to throw some surprises at us today. Otto's got off to a brilliant start. Polito's up in a second. Anonymous in third. Denz in fourth, staying in where he was. Elian's dropped off all the way down into fifth. Now gains back up into fourth. He's about to get back into third. He goes down the straight, down towards turn 1, trying to fit himself into a hole. Elian hits the front. He is still in the lead, heading into turn 1, squashing Polito a little bit into the wall. And he has taken the lead. Polito in second, Otto in third, Denz in fourth. They go through turn 2 now. Otto just about holds on against that Mazda as they turn out of turn 2. Well, Polito going to the outside of Elian now. These two fighting for the lead of this race. We'll go and see if anything else has happened. Everyone seems to have made it through the first 2 corners fairly alright. As we go down into the first chicane on the lap, side by side, and Polito takes the lead. Polito gets a nice run. Otto might have a run here on Elian as well. Around the outside, potentially too wide here. That backs out, and Elian is going to be fine in second for now. Everyone is still alive as they head into the second part of the second sector of this lap, out of the second sector of this lap even. The 2, 3 wide here. Anonymous in 6th, Taz in 7th. They've both dropped to Astro, who's gained 2 positions here, and somehow the Ferrari is actually doing something worth talking about. Prime Colt in 9th, Sailboat in 10th, Jordan 11th, Assador in 12th, Higgsy in 13th, Ethan in 14th. Got cars coming down in 2, 3 wide into the double right-hander there. CMP just dropping back a little bit. Denz is still ahead of Astro, and that's the weird thing here, that Astro is somehow still up here. Otto's trying to hang on to the back of Elian as well. It's crucial here at Tokyo that you stay in the slipstream, because if you drop out at that 1 second mark to the car in front of you and you don't get help from the cars behind, you are screwed. I would expect that tier 2 would know that by now. Here comes apparently the worst camera angle ever of Elian taking the lead of this race. Elian passed Polito as Polito had no slipstream, and that Ford GT is just the fastest car on the straight line, probably in this entire class. Certainly on the track right now. Astro and Denz are going past Otto. Astro's on the outside. A couple of cars getting squashed into the wall. I have to go back and watch that again. Anonymous on the inside of the Ferrari. And now we know that nothing happened there. Let's have a very quick look at what has happened behind here. See if we can find the correct car here. I think it might be Scotty. His livery hasn't loaded up, but yeah, Scotty's gone very deep. Taz is still there. Sailboat clobbered him on the way through. Prime Colt also goes through. Scotty has dropped a couple of places here. Astrodor in 11th, Jordan 12th. Tap is up in the 13th. They got Higgsy and CMP at the back behind Ethan. And these four are tailed off now. They're going to have to do something special just to get themselves into a position where they could potentially get themselves into the top 10. Now they've got that little gap between them and the top 11. Now Leon still had the lead of this race from Polito in second. Then it's Denz in third. Otto in fourth. Astro still hanging about in that Ferrari. Now Anonymous in sixth. Taz in seventh. Sailboat's up into eighth, which is good news for him. He's made a couple of positions worth of progress in this race. Prime call up in a seventh. It looked like Taz may have just had a mistake there. Have a look. Oh, Sailboat went deep. Taz has gone deep as well, so that'll allow Prime call through, even if he does hit the wall on the way on the exit. Scotty is trying to get himself involved here. Astrodor as well. Sailboat dropped to 11th. He's now on the back of everyone in this grid. They head down into the corner. Oh, that did not look too great. We're going to get a better camera angle of this. I think Astrodor may have just clipped Scotty on the way through. Going through. Oh, and Sailboat. Oh, yeah, Sailboat's gone for a gap that didn't exist. His claw clipped them both on the way through. A little bit of a rookie move there by Sailboat. They go into the double right-hander. Taz and Prime Call are apparently forgetting that you have to in fact work together here instead of working against each other. You can see that gap that formed in front of them. Bump drafting is exactly what's necessary now, because they are out of it if they don't. We'll continue to have a look at this. Is there going to be any sort of move, any sort of betrayal into turn one? Astrodor looks to be lining it up. Taz could have gone to the outside there if he wanted it. Astrodor's going to look to the inside. He brakes late. He brakes early, sorry. Gets through. Oh, almost through. Taz has gone deep. Try to give Astrodor that space, and Astrodor will go through now. And Prime Call's going to break free. We've got a little bit of fighting up ahead. Astro and Auto. Oh, that looks a little bit of a bump there by Auto on the outside. The Ferrari got himself on through, though, as they head into the chicane now. Yeah, not going to help that Audi at all. Denzel's got a little bit of a gap. The front two are away. These three now need to work together to get back to Denz and then drag Denz into this, which could potentially work in their favour to try and drag Polito and Elian back into this if they continue to fight. It looks like everyone's starting to catch back up again, because there's a couple of mistakes in that front of the pack here. We go to the front because Polito's going to try and round the outside of the Ford GT, and he hasn't got it because that outside line is almost impossible to take the position from. And now he's going to try and use the slipstream on the Ford GT here. The real question is, do you try and give the bumps to try and get away from Denz for good, and then play with a little bit of, well, toy a little bit here with the Ford GT maybe? Because the BMW, it won't be good enough in slipstream if they give them a lap or two to try and make that overtake at the end of this sprint race. So if he's going to get it done, I think he's going to have to wait and try and get it done later on. Might be his best hope of winning this race. Polito looking to the outside of Elian now. He's going to get it done here. He's going to have to do something special because Elian's just going to close that door, and rightfully so. Didn't really have to do much there to close it either. Let's have a look how Auto was overtaken here. Auto's going after Astro. Those two going down into turn one. Auto's gone around the outside, but Auto's gone deep. Too deep. And into the wall. Trying to get on alongside Astro there on the outside. Wasn't alongside enough. And now loses the position out to Anonymous, who's up into fifth. Highest he's been in this race. Auto right behind him now. Maybe a little bit of a bump draft there. To head down towards the chicane. Imagine the Ferrari being up here, the surprise to a lot of people. The front two have a gap now. That gap is significantly bigger than it was this time last lap. I think there was a little bit of a crash there. I don't know. Yep, there was. Oh, it got damage. I think Anonymous might have hit the wall there as well. He's lucky enough to avoid it in terms of the damage. So he is going to hang on for now. Oh, got to worry about Prime Cole potentially joining the back of this group. We might be in a position where everyone is... Oh, Jill might be outside the second, but everyone else is starting to close back in. Polito against Delian as we head down towards turn 1 again. We have got a small split in the group, but I don't know how many cars are outside of that second marker right now. Well, Ian's got a decent gap. He's not going to be able to pull the Ford GT that close from here. And that's the issue with the waiting game, isn't it? Because if you wait too long, obviously you might end up in a position where you don't get the chance to make that overtake, and that might be where Polito is starting to drop to. He is not close to Elian right now. They head into turn 1. Elian's gone deep again. Polito nailed that first corner. I think he may have definitely got that second corner better than Elian for good measure as well. Astro in 4th, right up on the back of Denz as well. As you see that gap between the front two and these two shrinking as we continue to go along. We go down into the chicane here. Denz still ahead of Astro. We got Anonymous there in front of Auto for 5th. So we're going 2 by 2 right now. And then you got Prime Cole in 7th, who seems to be all alone. And the gaps have definitely opened up among the pack again. Astro getting a little bit alongside that wall. There was someone else there who took a shunt into the wall as well for good measure. Prime Cole is starting to get himself involved with this front 6. He might be within a second there. If he is, he can get himself back involved in this fight for the top, essentially all the way up to 3rd. He's definitely within a second now. Comfortably within a second. Arsenal the next car up after that. Sailboats are back up in the 9th as well, so he'll gain overall. Going back towards the front. Everyone's got it. There you go. Look at that. Denz is within as well. Denz is within the second now as well. There is a potential for Denz to try and steal something at the end here. If he can get this right. Polito will be trying after Elian the entire way, so Denz could just be sat here to pick him off. We head down the straight. Polito and Elian now heading down towards turn 1. We're going to get ourselves a nice little chase cam view of this. Polito defends to the inside. Elian defends to the inside. A little bit of contact on the way through. And Polito's going to let Denz through, trying to stop himself going past Elian. And as I said before, Denz might be just being in a good position here to pick them off. And what couldn't have been a worse day for the Mazda in Austria might be turned on its head immediately here in Tokyo. We go down into the chicane. We've got 3 laps to go. 2.5 now. Polito's got to run. No, he's using the car alongside to try and get through. Polito's gone deep. Denz deep. Both into the wall. Neither got damage and Elian is away. Again, I just don't see the reason why you'd make that move there, if I'm completely honest with you. It's a bit too risky. Well, Polito's going to try and make it work here. Not sure Denz will be too happy with it though. Head into the final couple of corners on the lap here. We're going onto the rumble strip there. They're all within a second of each other, and none of them are going to get bumps though. Kind of screwed each other over here. Anonymous got into 4th now. Astro drops to 5th. in 6th. It's kind of just a little bit of a gap forming now. Taz is down in 10th after what has been a poor race to him. Jordan in 12th. He's just not been able to keep up. Scotty in 13th, Tap in 14th, CMP in 15th, Higsy 16th. Has not really been able to do anything about it. Denz has called the way out to Polito, who has clearly not got a lot of slipstream from Elian. And Denz is going to try and drag Polito back into this, because he needs a three-way into turn 1 on the final lap. Denz to the inside here to try and get second. Polito's gone around the outside to try and hold position. Denz should get this if he can get a better exit. I'm not entirely sure who's going to get a better exit here. That was a bit... I don't even know if I want to call it on the safe side from both the cars there. It's just a bit average. We go through. Polito's still on the outside here. They're going to go side by side into the chicane. They are. Denz widely backs. Oh, he got tagged. He got tagged by the Ferrari behind, and there goes Anonymous, who gets a double. Anonymous up in the 3rd. Denz is going to be feel hard done by here. And then he goes straight to the wall himself. He's lost to Auto. He might be about to lose to Astro as well. Oh, and he's tagged Astro on the way through. Prime Call, the unfortunate soul there, hits the back of Denz. And his charge has been interrupted. Denz is all over the place now. Denz has got damage. Prime Call's gone up a position. Denz has had a nightmare of a lap. And Elian is gone. Elian at the front of this race has taken advantage of the absolute carnage. Anonymous tagging the inside of Polito there, which will just give Elian that a little bit more breathing room. Plain and simply, there's just been too many collision overtakes here. And it's handed Elian a golden opportunity to win this race. Denz is going to feel very hard done by here to be in 7th after what realistically should have been a chance at 1st. Here comes Anonymous looking for 2nd. That BMW's not going to have anything down the straight line. Anonymous switches to the inside line now to defend from Polito. Polito switches, trying to switch back into turn 2. Gets alongside on the inside. And again, just a little bit of contact forcing that Genesis on the outside, who then gets a bump by Auto and gets away. So Anonymous up in a 2nd properly now. Polito's now got to contend with Astro. And he does pretty nicely actually there to hold on to 3rd for now. Auto is ahead of Astro. Astro just tagged the wall. Then you got Prime Call, who's coming up with a lot of speed. The BMWs are charging their way through. Is there an extra place or 2 in this for Prime Call? Someone's tailed off right at the back. I'm not entirely sure who that is. It's a little bit deep for Prime Call. If he's nailed this corner, he would have had to run Astro down into the final corner. On the final set of corners, but he's not. I think that might be his last chance at a move. If he doesn't go for it here, he might. He looks for it. Nope, he's not got it. Polito's deep, very deep. It looks like that'll be it. Because Anonymous and Polito will be going at each other. That'll go straight to the line. However, it's a new winner in Tier 2. Elian, demoted from Tier 1 last season, is on the board here in Tokyo. As he crosses the line to win the sprint, Anonymous hangs on for 2nd place. Polito gets 3rd. He kind of screwed himself at the end of the day. Could have done better, but too many contact overtakes. Auto gets 4th. Astro gets 5th. Prime Call 6th. Denz 7th. Asseldor 8th. Taz 9th. Sailboat 10th. Jules 11th. Scotty 12th. CMP 13th. Higsy 14th. Tap 15th. And then just Ethan is having a mare of a season here in this Mazda. Has finished tailed off in 16th place. And that is the end of that sprint race. A lot of drama. Not as much as the other tiers by the looks of things. The one thing I am spotting from Tier 2, especially in that race there, is the contact overtakes. The one, just leaving a little bit in. It's going to deal some damage on this track because they can't really be in a... you can't really do that here. Because you're not only going to screw the person you're overtaking, you're going to screw yourself too. So it's a very interesting... I am very surprised at that. It's just leaving some in. You definitely got to be looking for those clean overtakes, fully clean overtakes where you can get them. Turn 1 being the most pivotal role there, I think. As we continue just to download the feature race here so we can commentate through that. But yeah, I think Denz is going to feel hard done by. 100%. Because he should have had a podium. I think Polito screwed himself out of the top 2, to be honest with you. Because that looked fairly controlled the entire race. And then the couple shots that he had with both Denz and Anonymous, they kind of just screwed himself. So I'm not too surprised by that one. Anonymous picking everyone off at the end is a pretty impressive race for him to get second out of that. Elian just got a golden opportunity there gifted to him in that sprint race. He took full advantage of it. All right, let's go through the grid then. So mediums for Sailboat, hards for Taz. Then you got Acid on the hards as well. This might be hards for the rest of the grid, actually. Denz on hards. Oh, Astro's on mediums in the Ferrari, which could be interesting. Hards for Auto, Polito, and Anonymous in 7th, 8th, and 9th, and Vahabi in P10. Jill's in 11 on hards. The rest of the grid all on hards, apart from... Yeah, no, the rest of the grid is entirely on hards. Okay, so we got 2 cars on the medium tyres to start with. That's your current race leader, the reverse grid pole, Sailboat, and Astro in P6. Which makes me very intrigued in the strategy here. Because if I remember right, if I can speak English, it was very unlikely to be a medium soft. But, yeah, I know. The 2-stop will not work. The 2-stop will not work here. I'm very intrigued how this is about to go. Right, let's get going then. 40 minutes, or, well, 20 laps, should I say, of Tokyo here. With Sailboat as your leader, as he leads us off into this feature race in round 2 of the season here in Tier 2. Oh my god, that McLaren is not good off the line on a rolling start. Jesus, and Taz is already on the back of that McLaren straight away. Arcelor not that far behind. Denz has got himself right up to the back of that Audi as well. We are up toward turn 1 now. Taz might look for a straight shot for the lead. Arcelor may have just spooked him into not doing that. Arcelor looked to the inside there. Sailboat into the wall. Taz into the wall. We might be going 3 wide. Arcelor thinks better and backs out. But again, spooks Taz in the process. And gets by him this time. Taz just lacking a little bit of spatial awareness there. Into where Arcelor is. And Arcelor got him not once but twice in the first couple of corners on the spook. And Sailboat isn't going to be complaining either because he's now got a little bit of breathing room. Arcelor is in 2nd, Astro in 3rd, Taz in 4th. But bearing in mind, Astro started in 6th, but he's on the medium tyres. For those who aren't aware, for those who weren't here about 15 seconds ago when I said that. Here we go, looking for positioning. I think that's Auto against Anonymous. Auto, Elian trying to get himself through as well. Elian's already moved up a place. Polito dropped to 11th. Scotty looking for a place on Gilles in the meantime, looking down into the final couple of corners to do it. Does get him all the way down there before he even hit these double right-handers. Someone's tires are going screeching there. I think we might need to take a very quick look at who that is. Oh, it's Polito! It's Polito who just dove straight into the wall! And there's damage on his tyre already! On the front of his car already! Oh, that's a wild miss on the brakes. There's a couple of cars there that also had a mare on the braking though. That is just a wild miss from Polito. We already have a little bit of a break in the crowd. In this race, here comes Elian on Anonymous, which is surprising. The Ford GT versus Gen X. The Gen X should have a lot of straight line speed as well. Maybe not as much as the Ford GT. Let's have a look here. Anonymous going to have. Oh, this could be interesting. Elian to the inside of Prime Call even on the inside here. It might be two inside though for Elian, who somehow managed to make it work. A little bit of, I think that might have been a little bit of contact there from Anonymous, but either way, Elian's in front. Elian made that work through turn 1 and turn 2, and fair play to the man for it. That is a gutsy call to try and make that move. That never looked on. They've also got a little bit of a gap forming, and then someone hit the wall. And we're going to go back about 10 seconds to figure out who it was. I think it might have been Otto who's trying to go around the outside of Dens here. We head down into the chicane at the end of sector 1. Ew, they both hit it. Dens caught up originally, and Otto bounced off of Dens as a result. There goes Elian, who's got one. He might be about to pick up a second. Nope, he isn't. Dens has got a nice little run there, and Elian just kind of throws up, trying to figure out where he was going. Here comes Asador and Astro. A little bit of contact on the way through there again. But Astro's up in a second. We got a three-way fight right now for second. Dens is the car we were just watching prior. Sailboat has a lead. A significant lead at that. Asador down the inside. Oh, and here comes Taz, who forces his way through. And again, a little bit of contact, but Astro stays second. I can't say I blame Taz for going for that, but that little bit of contact with Asador might have just stopped him getting that double overtake. Asador loses out multiple positions as a result. Oh, and a significant gap to Taz and Astro as well. Should be able to bring it back though. Still in slipstream. Dens is the second back now. They are starting to close Sailboat back in. Sailboat does have a good advantage right now, but it is the two medium tyres, the medium tyre runners that currently situate themselves at the front of this grid. They need to get away. They need to start driving away as much as they physically can. Otherwise, their only hope of winning this race probably lies on the rain, if they do get any. Let's have a look. Astrodor doing a good first sector there. See if there's going to be any sort of movement in this second sector. Astrodor's hit the wall. Astrodor hit the wall. That might allow Dens to get back in touching distance here. He's definitely within a second now. I don't know. Astrodor should be a second behind Taz there. Within a second of Taz behind. And yeah, Taz has just had a bit of a mare there on the exit of the chicane. Don't know if he's going to be able to keep intact with the car in front. Dens is going to probably bump draft Astrodor here. Yep, doesn't look for the move. Astrodor just puts himself on the middle of the track to make sure it doesn't happen. Taz went deep. Astrodor went deep. Oh, Taz has slid the car! And Taz is now into fifth. Both Astrodor and Dens go through. Taz made a massive error there. Still has a decent sized gap to Elian in 6th though. The longer this goes, the more that Astro and Sailboat are loving life. Let's see what happens here. If anything happens into turn 1, if I'm dense, now might be a good time for a move to the inside. Turn 1's your best opportunity. He's alongside, and again it's contact, and Asador just squeezes him straight into the wall. That's just, it's exactly what I was saying in the sprint. It's just a little contact overtakes. This time it didn't evolve into an overtake, but the contact again is just pushing the guy in front away from the guy trying to make the moves. People are not realistically realizing that it's about the team game here. You have to kind of buddy up with the person that you're driving against. Tokyo Expressway being this version of Tokyo Expressway anyway, being a significantly different track to ones we've been involved with before, as Astro takes the lead of the race off of Sailboat down the inside. Astro in the lead of this race from the Ferrari, bearing in mind the Ferrari and the McLaren are both on the medium tyres. They both have a significant gap as well. Denz is ahead of Asador, up in a 3rd now. Taz is also here trying to get himself involved as well. Elian is also on the back of this group. Taz again not having a good time on the exit of the triple right-hander there. Otto in 7th, Anonymous in 8th. Those two both off the pace a little bit right now. Both outside of that 2nd gap. Higgsy's probably not much better, but he's got the teammate for help. Higgsy in Scotty 9 and 10 right now. Gilles in 11th is a little bit further back. He should have Polito for company. And he's also got CMP for company as well. And these three will be able to drag this all the way back to those Lexuses in front of them. You're tapping. I think there's Ethan as well. We got tailed off at the back. Polito looking for round the outside. Gilles is braking far too early. It looks like Gilles might be about to get doubled. No, he's not going overtaken by CMP. Gilles is just braking so early into turn 1 for no reason. Yeah, it was fairly demonstrated with how Polito went round the outside fairly effortlessly. He didn't even make a challenge of it. Gilles might be about to go back though, looking for seconds. Almost squeezed into the wall there by Polito. And Gilles backs out of it. He's going to lose out multiple here. Had a chance that Polito drops behind CMP. Again, the situational driving is not really up to par with what you would expect from Tier 2 here, I think. Elian is up ahead of Taz now. These two fight for 5th. There you got Denz and Asador up in front there. Those two are fighting for 3rd and 4th and have been since the start. Astro and Sailboat have both got themselves a little bit of a gap now. Taz is going to help Elian, and bearing in mind both of these two have, well, realistically the fastest straight line speed cars potentially in the tier. It should be fairly easy that they catch up to that Audi and that Mazda by the time they head down towards this turn 1. Or put especially put a dent into it, that's for sure. We're going to see if there's an attempt there. Then decides not to go for it. The Sailboat up ahead, Mike. And he goes for Astro, looking for 1st. Doesn't get it. Astro is holding on for now. They need to find a gap. Right now they have a 2nd gap. They just need to be working together to grow this gap as much as they could possibly fathom here. Astro looking to try and pull now. Astro is going to pull a little bit. He might have broke a second here. That's really bad news for Sailboat if he has. It looks like he has. They go through the chicane here. I think Astro might be away. Goes into the double right-hander, triple right-hander now. In the final couple of corners of this lap. Astro might be just about a second up here. It is very close. It's enough for Sailboat to get at the very least a small amount of slipstream and get him away from Hasseldorf. But Hasseldorf has Denz as backup. And these two are going to try and work together to close that gap down again. Elian has got a chance for company as well. We go further down the grid. Anonymous on his own. Otto is catching up to the back of the two in front. Higgsy is on his own now as well. CMP not too far away, but actually, yeah, he is. He's quite a distance away, actually. Scotty and Polito are working together here. Down towards turn one, there might be moves. Potential move for the inside here from Polito, who looks for it, and again, oh, he slid on the exit. He's still got the line. If he wants it, he's got the better line. Didn't get the better exit. I think Scotty might hold this. Scotty is going to hold this with Jill on the outside. With Jill on the outside, peering into shot. And the Alpha might go for double. Round the outside of this. Oh, Scotty's going to hold on, and he's actually lost them both. Oh, no, he hasn't. A little bit of contact saved the second position. Jill doing just about enough. Tap is in here as well. I'm not entirely. Polito's the one that got damage hitting the wall. I think Tap may have been the one that got held up. Prime calling 15th, so he's had a bit of a mare of this. And then Ethan at the back. Astro's not a second ahead of Sailboat anymore. He might be now. He might be now. That slide on the exit might just open up that door. Hasseldorf is a lot closer than he was the lap prior, and Denz is nowhere to be seen now. Everyone's got a little bit of a gap on each other. Jill and Scotty here, Tap and Polito behind. Those two going side by side. I'm going to have a look at what happened to Polito there. Tap is looking to the inside. Oh, a little bit of contact on the way through, and it's been what I've been saying the entire time. And again, a little bit more contact, and that causes Polito's car to slide. They're not helping each other here, and that's the worst thing you can do right now. Because these two in particular, 12th and 13th, you're not fighting for anything. If you fight each other, what's the best you're going to get? 13th. You have got to be working together at every opportunity. They are doing so down this straight. They've got to stop those contact overtakes. They're draining too much time away. Jill looks for it up ahead, and again, I know the Alpha understeers, but I feel like the Tier 2 drivers in the Alpha have forgotten that the Alpha actually has very good brakes. Ethan Prime Call tailed off at the back. We're going to go a little bit further forward. So it looks like Jill and Scotty are not going to do much to each other here into the chicane. Scotty's gone deep. He somehow managed to save that. Jill's gone into the wall and stopped any chance of a run. We're going to go a little bit further forward. These guys are all close to each other, but not really making any sort of a dent. As we go almost to the halfway point in this race. It's almost like a procession at the moment, though. In these cars in the top 10, in the top 8, sorry. They're all close to each other, they're just not close enough to make anything stick. I say that, Sailboat might be now. Sailboat is a lot closer to Astro than Astrodor is to Sailboat. There might be a time in this to get away for both of these drivers. That door, that window, it needs to get wider. Here comes Sailboat looking the inside. Again, if you're going to make that kind of move, you've got to become committed a lot earlier than that. He snapped the car on the exit. There's an apex there, Sailboat. You might want to go and get closer to it. That might open the door for Astrodor again. Not particularly good turn 1, turn 2. Elian is right up onto the back of Denz. Now, this is good news for Denz right now, because he might be able to get the help that he needs to get towards Astrodor and back towards the podium spot. If Elian can get this car to turn. Didn't look like he did there. We'll see if there's going to be anything in this realistically as we head into lap 10. Pit stops should start to fly now. We go down the line. It's got a lot closer, but there's no overtake opportunities at all here. Astrodor is a lot closer to Astro and to Sailboat, who is now going down the straight. Are we going to see any pit stops? I don't think we would from the front two. Bit too early for those two. It doesn't look like we've seen any pit stops. Elian has not helped Denz there at all. And now that is an interesting choice. Denz is going to fight this back. Denz is going to fight this back. He gives Elian a bump. Elian is a lot closer to Astrodor now. Not entirely sure that's how I would have done that straight if I was the Ford GT, but each to their own. Astro and Sailboat are fighting instead of working together up front. Everyone's just looking at everyone's looking at the small picture here, I think, instead of the actual bigger picture where you need someone else's help in this race. Looking down the line now. I don't really know anything that happened at the front five here. Astro has got a significant gap now at the front of this grid. Looking further back, CMP's in 9th, Scott in 10th, Prime Call in 11th, Ethan in 12th, Higgsy's onto new medium, so we did see the first set of pit stops. Higgsy, Polito, and then the two Alfa Romeos all stopped on lap 9. Not sure if I would have done that if I was an Alfa Romeo, I'm not going to lie. Astro now into the pits. 10-10 was probably the best strategy here, I think. Especially for the Alfa, you just fuel saving too much to go to 11. Sailboat stays out. Astrodor, everyone else is into the pits. Literally everyone. Astro. No! Oh, he's gone and two stopped. He's gone and two stopped. Oh no. He's got no slipstream, and he's two-stopping. No pressure, Astro, but these are essentially going to have to be the best 5 laps of your career to realistically even stand anything that resembled a chance. Yeah, I think this may have been a mistake. Well, yeah, I think I think honestly someone had decided to go to that Ferrari school of strategy training, and you never do that. You never go full Ferrari. Being held up by Prime Call at the moment. Definitely been held up by Prime Call now as he goes down into the final couple of corners on the lap. Might not even wait that long. Prime Call looks to the fence of the inside there, gets a little bit of contact. Astro is deep, so is Prime Call. They both missed the corner there entirely. I think Sailboat's about to make the exact same mistake. I'd be very intrigued to see what his plan is here. Gone up over 60. He's actually going to the end. The real question is it hards or soft he's coming out on? It's hards. Hard's an interesting one. Prime Call 9 to the pits as well. There you go, there's Astro right out behind Sailboat. I mean, Astro does have a considerable lead. The issue is he also has another 20-second pit stop still to serve. Sailboat on the hard tyres. This is where it's going to get interesting now, because he's got to get on the rhythm very quickly. Otherwise, Astro will leave him alive. And this is the interesting thing about going the opposite. That tyre at the end is... I mean, on this track, there's a very distinct lack of ability to overtake, so... honestly, it's not the worst track to try it at. But I would be very intrigued to see if he's able to hold out for the rest of this race now. Against the kind of driver behind him. Then Elliott is in 4th. He's quite considerably off the back of those two though. Otto in 5th, Dens in 6th. These three are pretty much... oh, you can add another one to that list actually, because I think that's Taz. That is Taz. Anonymous not that far off the back of him either. This could get very interesting very quickly, the four-way fight here for 4th place. I'm also very intrigued to see where Astro comes out lap 15. Beginning of 16. Right now, just seeing where everyone is, Anonymous just dropped off the back a little bit. Dixie is on no man's land, same with CMP, who's got actually not quite no man's land, because he's got Polito there for help, and Polito's not going to give him any bump draft. Polito's just going to drive on straight past. Polito's probably had enough of working together with people at this point, just trying to work his way through. As he goes along, he's clipped the inside wall there. I think CMP did as well. Oh, Polito up into 10th then, Shields in 12th, then Scott in 13th, Tapp in 14th, and then Prime Call and Ethan are tailed off at the back of this grid. Oh, Jill did not look good for Jill there in the slightest. He's managed to keep out the wall. Doing a good job of it, to be honest with you. Keeping up, never mind. As soon as I say that there's sparks on the wall, he's hit it straight away. Leo's still ahead of CMP. We now have a 5-way fight here for 4th place. This could become massive. I think it might be a little bit more than 4th place. Ideally in 4th right now. Where's the car in front? Oh no, the 2 cars in front, Astronaut and Sailboat, have a substantial gap now. Head down the line. Head down toward turn 1. Taz, Anonymous looking to try and get an extra position apiece at the very least. It gives them another 4 points to the team total. If they can do that. Going down toward turn 1. Taz now pulls out to the inside. Dens looks to cover. Will not be able to cover because he's waited too long. Waited far too long to try and cover because Taz is on his inside. Taz is going to break late. Taz is going to make that stick, or is he? He's got a good run. He's made it work for a split second, and then Dens has put his nose where he, quite frankly, shouldn't have put his nose. Not alongside enough there. Let's have another replay of that. Anonymous tried round the outside here, so he was just trying to exist. Dens just came over to try and block off Anonymous and got a little bit of Taz in the process. Yeah, it's not the best way of doing that. Anonymous might be about to go through, because he is, and he gets a double. His teammate and Dens in one corner. Anonymous is up into 6 now. Heading into the chicane. Dens is going to try and pull into the inside here just to make sure he can split the 2 Genesises, and he can. He does it fairly well. I think there's a move for second. There's also a move a little bit further in front because I think Otto's just overtaken Elian. He has. Elian's got damage on the front right. Elian's got damage. I'll bring him back towards Anonymous now. Otto's going to drive a little bit further ahead. Otto's done well to avoid damage himself. Assendar's got in front of Sailboat, who had a really good race, to be honest with you, from first on the grid. Just held in first gear a little bit too long there. Good Sailboat. Elian has dropped a significant way off the back of Otto already. He is in the fastest car on the grid, so we'll see how much he's able to claw that back and see if he's going to get any help from Anonymous in the process. We're on lap 14. Now to lap 15 of 20 in this race. Is there going to be any help given by the Genesis? Taz is ahead of Dens now as well. Dens and Taz are fighting it out behind. We're just watching this for now. They have got all the way up to the back of Otto. Round the outside goes Anonymous, but he's just got a bit too overly ambitious. And they both go deep into the corner. They could not make it stick. And Elian's going to take 5th place back. And now we're back in the 5-way fight again. Elian is currently doing enough. Hold off Anonymous, the Polishman, in 6th. Whilst they try and chase down the Austrian that's currently in 4th. Dens and Taz still here as well. A little bit of a clip in the walls here for the Gen X. Nixie sees the cars ahead. Got to try and get himself involved in it now. Polito's just ahead of CMP. But Jill's on his own little world at the moment with Scotty there as well. Somehow Jill's managed to avoid damage there as he clipped the wall on the outside. You got Prime Colt in 14th, Tap in 15th, who's had a mare of his own race here. And Ethan in 16th. And then Astro into the pit. So, we now get an answer to the question we wanted to know well, we asked at the end of lap 10. Where is he coming out? Sailboat's got no sort of anything against Asador right now. Asador is in cruise control of this for the rest of this one now. He's coming out in 8th. Ouch. Either had to lose that again. 9th is Higsy. Astro has just cost himself a substantial amount of points. We can say that the Sailboat probably got the strategy wrong as well. We're actually going to go to the front here. Have a little bit of a look what's going on at the front. Alien is going after Auto. Auto doesn't have any damage, so this is just straight line speed. Doesn't even bother to deal with the Audi, to bump the Audi, just goes straight on by. No second guesses of that one. See if there's anything else. Here comes the Anonymous to the outside. He loves that move. But he's going to get overtaken by his teammate who goes to the inside and takes major advantage of that. And then goes straight into the Wolfgang measure. Both the gens went into the Wolfgang measure, and Dens is going to be helping Anonymous on through because Dens and Taz have been going at the entire race. So Anonymous back in the 5th. Taz had an opportunity, squandered it when he missed the line in turn 2. Dens had a bit of a mad there. Taz should be able to get alongside. They're going to go side by side down here. And that's going to be nice and easy for Taz. Dens gets a little bit of a whack against the wall for good measure. Very difficult to go side by side in that corner. Again, it's just a contact. A slight contact on the overtaking. You lose. Look at the amount of ground they've lost to Anonymous. Dens has lost out again because he hit the wall on the way out. Yeah, they've both lost significant amount of time to Anonymous. Asador has a decent gap now, the Sailboat. Don't really see a way back into the Sailboat to try and win this race now. It's going to be Asador's unless Asador makes a mistake. Which is possible. But Asador is a veteran here in ALR. Very seasoned vet, knows what he's doing. Would not put him past him driving this to the line now. Elliot in 3rd. He's going to need some help to catch up to Sailboat. Never mind Asador. The question is the Audi willing to give him that help? The Audi isn't really willing. He's gone to the inside. Auto looking for 3rd. Auto sticks it. Gets it and has a far better exit as well. So we go into turn 2, still side by side, and Alien has decided to hit every wall possible. Auto gets past on the inside. Continuing on, Alien just not able to hang with Auto in the middle of the lap here. Auto's bridged the gap. And it's allowed for Anonymous to get involved now as well for the battle for 4th. Taz is still here. Dens has dropped off now. All the way back to Astro in 8th, who's flying at the moment on the soft tyre. The only issue, he's just screwed his strategy. Even if he'd done what Sailboat did, he would have had a chance of winning this race. The 2-stop was not a call. He is going to get up in the 7th. With 3 laps to go, there is still a heavy possibility that the top 4 is doable here for Astro if he actually takes that corner right for once. Dens is going to be right on the back of him down the straight here. CMP is still ahead of Polito. He's not had a good race. Jill's in 12th. Scotty in 13th. The bottom 3 are rather tailed off right now. Asador still has a significant gap there in the lead of this race. And here's the interesting battle that we've got going on. Look at this. Here comes that Alien again. Gonna have to go to the outside. Otto placing his car exactly where he wants it. Leaves it so far open for him. Elian doesn't need to back into this inside now. He's actually going to just cover the middle of the track so he doesn't get any fire back from Otto. Wasn't really necessary. He didn't need to defend there. He had to move down. There was no real way Otto was able to come back. Otto is going to come back now because he defended instead. This is going to be interesting now who gets the bottom step of the podium between these two. They can see Sailboat. There is a possibility, a very small possibility, that both of them may have a possibility over a podium here. They see the McLaren on the hard tyre. That should be a relatively stable McLaren. The issue is that these two are going to be significantly quicker for the final 2 or 3 laps of this race. Anonymous is still involved here as well. Taz is just about hanging on. Astro's got himself right involved as well. Oh, there's Taz in the wall. Hitting the wall on the way out. That'll open the door here for Astro potentially. But not before we see Elian and Otto fighting for the third. It's well defended from Elian, just placing his car where it needed to be again. A bit deep on both ends there by Elian. I'm not entirely sure what the exit line of that was. The answer to that is pointless, I'll tell you that much. First bump there from Otto. Anonymous is going to be right behind these two any second. Same goes for Anonymous at the front, just at the front of the picture there. Looks like Otto is going for a move. Otto up in a third, getting help from the Genesis to follow through the hole, who looks to be taking 4th off of Elian. Does take 4th off of Elian. Not entirely sure what that defensive line was. And now he looks to the inside. Gets a nice little run there against Otto, but he's going to have to wait till lap 20, try and steal that bottom step of the podium here. Sailboat is in vision now as well, but Sailboat should be able to hang on from here. Hasselhoff's the bump, just rear lights also just came into vision there. So it's not that far in front. We continue on here. Astro got Taz. Astro right onto the back of Elian now. There is still a top 5 possibility here for Astro. Could sneak in the back door here. Gonna go to the inside. Elian comes across to try and defend. Astro goes deep! Oh, and he almost clobbered a couple of cars! Almost hit Anonymous. That was incredibly well done by Anonymous to avoid that, and then Astro has pushed Elian into the wall. I'm not entirely sure what the plan was there, Astro. Taz should just go by Astro here. Yeah, as I say, wouldn't even be waiting. These two coming together. Astro just gets every single semblance of those two corners wrong. First went too deep into the corner, and then when he came out of it, just squeezes Elian into the wall for no apparent reason. It wasn't necessary. He could have done better line than that. It looks like Taz has just given up. Another couple of positions here. To the inside goes Elian on a double. Oh, and he got a little bit of a tag there from Taz. And then a little bit of a tag from Elian on Astro as well. Taz has half spun his car. Elian's trying to get on Astro here. Elian has got ahead of Astro for now. Drama between these two in the last couple of laps. Six different nationalities representing the top 6 here. Oh, and a little bit of contact again into the chicane between these two. You see the difference it's made because of everything that's happened between these two have allowed that top 4 to just separate out in front. on the final lap here. Astra had got one more shot realistically at Elian to potentially literally steal a bottom step of that podium. It doesn't look like he's going for it here. Might be too far away. Oh, it's a little bit of an awkward exit again. I don't understand the necessary need to go all the way on the outside there. It's just costing you time, not gaining it. We look to the battle here as we go to the line, and the Belgian is on the board now as well, as Asador is over the line to win the feature in Tokyo. Sailboat gets second on an outstanding race for him. Otto will get third, Anonyma fourth, Elian fifth, Astro sixth, Taz 7th, Dens 8th, CMP 9th, Polito gets 10th, Pigsy 11th, just by the looks of that. Scotty will get 12th, Jules will get 13th, Prime Call will get 14th. And then Tap and Ethan tailed off at the back of the grid. Tap in 15th there, and then Ethan is the last one over the line on what has been an absolutely horrid start to the season for him. There you go, to the line. And that will be it here for Tier 2 in round 2. Very quick look at what the standings look like before we went into Watkins Glen. It's out of Tokyo. So Polito still has the lead, 60 points on the board for him, and then it's 55 for Otto, 53 for Anonyma, 43 for Astro. So the top three split by 7 at the moment as we go into round 3, and then the top in the constructors as well. Audi and Genesis are both on 92 apiece, the M6 on 83, Ferrari on 62. We might have a 4-way title fight for the constructors at some point during this. So a long way to go. A quarter of the season now done. After see how everything stands after Watkins Glen, it should be a BMW track. So Polito should be able to drag that BMW back towards the front. But with that being said, I will see you guys next time. Well, no, for Tier 2 next time, and then for esports later on today. In a bit.